it finally happened. The 76ers have entered the Kevin Durant sweepstakes. And these reports that the Sixers and Kevin Durant have mutual interest with each other, coincidentally, happens a couple days after Kevin Durant and James Harden were seen at the Travis Scott concert together. We kind of made a joke about that last week, and then like the day later, that actually happened. The reports came out. So two-part question here. First question, do you think this is legit, or are we being leveraged for a bigger deal? And B, do you think we have enough to trade for Kevin Durant?
Well, one, I think if you're talking about Kevin Durant, I think they'll try every team to try to see, what's the best option. So I would think a guy of his status that every team would technically be in play. Whether it's likely or not, who knows? But I think we have enough. I don't think I think from my standpoint, we have enough. I'm not sure if we have enough from the net standpoint. Because I just can't see what they would do without trying to get Joel. And I just don't, if you're going to do Kevin Durant and not take back Joel, I don't see why they would do that. But I guess it could be done without him. I'm sure it can be done without him. I just don't think it's likely without him. Mm-hmm. Unless that's the only deal. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Somebody they're pressed to the end and that's the only deal. I think it can be done. It's just going to come down to how hard KD is going to press. Not showing up or whatever. I mean, how hard is he going to press kind of depends on the type of deal that they would take.
Yeah. I think the blueprint's been laid out by, Ben Simmons, James Harden last year. So the blueprint's kind of there for Kevin Durant to kind of go into that if he wants to. Teja, what are your thoughts on this Kevin Durant sweepstakes?
It wouldn't shock me for it being used as leverage, so you can go to Boston or Miami because those were the two most notable names we heard for a while. Some problems to note, though. One is that the Nets apparently want Marcus Smart included in the Boston deal, but Durant wants to play with Smart if he goes to Boston. So that's a problem. I mean, it could be a hiccup, could be solved with an extra pick thrown in there. I don't know, maybe. Sure. But right now it's a speed bump. 2, Miami doesn't want to deal Butler or Bam, which seems like a major issue for the Nets because I would assume they don't want a deal of Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, and Kyle Lowry because what the hell would that do them? Absolutely nothing. And then it comes down to us. Like you said, the timing is peculiar. People speculated that we were in the mix, but it comes out officially as they hang out together at a concert, which is kind of funny. Durant is extremely close to PJ Tucker. I heard it's actually one of the most, I think he's closest maybe to one of him, like one of the most closest players to Tucker off the court. And then I see the appeal as far as having enough to trade. That stuff. We don't have the picks. The most popular ones I've seen on Twitter are trade the 2029 first and then remove the protections off the 2027 first rounder. So that'd be like a pick and a half because they already have protections on the 27 rounder. So you got Maxey, Thybulle, Harris for salary purposes, remove the protections of the 27, give them the 29. The question for you guys, would you guys rather have that package or would you rather have Jaylen Brown, Derek White, and like 3 picks?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where they're going. I mean, I think if you want to compete right now, I think the Sixers package would put them in better position to compete right now. I would think so.
I heard they did want to compete now. I heard they want future, but they also want to stay in contention right now. They want to compete.
So, yeah, I mean, I think that's better than what the Boston offer that you just named. I believe that's better.
If you swapped out Derek Wright for Marcus Smart?
I still think it's better. Because you get into the 3 guys, I think it's better.
Yeah, I mean, Maxey on a rookie deal, Thybulle pretty much got like 1 year left. They got to figure out what they're going to do with him. He still has value, though. And then, I mean, you have to have someone's go, what about Harris? It's negative value. You have to have someone equal the money. I mean, someone's got to equal Durant's big salary. It's not going to be a guy on a rookie contract. That's the perk. So, I mean, Harris only got 2 years left. It's really not that much anymore. And he helps you compete. He takes Durant's spot on the roster. Literally, you just swap him out, right? I love Jaylen. I'm a big Jaylen Brown fan, but what people don't realize is his contract's coming up too, and he's been a bargain. So he's not going to look to discount anything anymore. He's going to ask for a lot. So you're not getting you think you're getting Brown at this discounted price. That's only for a year, and then you got to pay him Durant money for not Durant. So that's a little tougher for me. And Maxey, you have 3 years to figure that out. I like this.
I think for it really, but with them, it also depends on what they do with Kyrie or what, that situation. But I think, in some ways they could look at Jaylen Brown as a plug and play guy. I mean, he's obviously, Kevin Durant's a better basketball player, but Jaylen Brown's an all-star player as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So just, you're looking at a guy like that. And then you get an additional player, so I can see why they're shooting for a guy like Marcus Smart, because they don't have anyone like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you can kind of fill that void too, and bring a different intangible to your team, and a winning intangible to your team. So I can see how them adding him and Marcus Smart would be better than the Sixers deal, especially depending on the picks, because they're two starters, two legit starters on a runner-up championship team.
Absolutely, yeah. Smart, Kyrie, Jaylen Brown, TJ Warren. Who's their five?
I think outside of us, most people would say the Boston offer is better because outside of us and Sixer fans, they don't, they wouldn't value the Sixers players as much as we do.
Yeah, especially Maxey. We definitely value Maxey more than other people do. It's starting to go around though. That fire's taking.
But not like that though. I mean, not yet.
Yeah,
we got to wait before he gets to that. Kind of looked at it from that standpoint.
I mean, he comes out firing and averaging 23, 24 a game. That Durant, if he doesn't get traded by the season, that could easily be okay. We'll take Maxey. I mean, you have a future All-Star. Let's why not? So, yeah.
If you guys had to kind of make bets on where Durant will be by All-Star break, what do you think they'll?
I have no clue.
No,
man. I have no clue. I don't think it's. I don't know. I think if I was a betting guy now, I would probably bet that it may be a team that hasn't been mentioned.
Yeah, in the field. Yeah.
I mean,
got to be someone he wants to go to, right? Too, because if you're going to trade for a guy, no one wants to be that Kawhi rental anymore. For like Toronto was. I mean, they run a ring, that's great, but it doesn't sound very appealing. So, I mean, if he's saying I have 3 teams I want to go to, figure it out. That's why it's taking so long, because there's only so much to trade from those teams. And if you said by the season starting, I'd say the Nets, even though that rumor came out about him retiring and whatnot, even though he said that's ridiculous. But I'd say start of the season, I would say the Nets, just because I don't see them rushing to do this. I just don't see
I think they get it done before camp. If I had to guess, I would say they get it done before
really
camp.
You think so?
I think with the Kyrie situation and the Ben situation, I think they go into camp with the team that they want to have. I don't think they go in with that black cloud and changing the team and the team changing in the middle of the year again. I just think they get it done before then.
Yeah.
And Tobias Harris is a very good team guy. I mean, I know that's not why you trade for somebody, but coming off all this disastrous moves that the Nets have been dealing with, dealt with Harden, dealt with Kyrie, dealt with KD, dealing with Simmons, even though he's been good for them, but that whole group text thing, getting a guy like Harris, who's a consummate professional, Stephen A would say, is just, it's a breath of fresh air to bring that guy along who is not going to give you any trouble at all, and just fill in a good 20-8 role as a 4.
I will say it's funny if this trade does happen, we'll retrade Maxey, Thybulle, and Tobias to Brooklyn. It'd be funny. Ben Simmons is surrounded by the team that he left It'd be pretty funny.
So the Brooklyn Sixers.
Yeah.
Everyone but Embiid, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're the Philadelphia Rockets, then they got to be the Brooklyn Sixers.
Yeah.
Hey, Simmons always wanted to be the guy on that Sixers team.
So they would technically have more former players than us, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. If you count Curry too, then yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, that'd be
You know the Nets guy be thinking that too. They're like, we can't become the 2021 Sixers. We can't become the 2021 Sixers minus Embiid. We can't do that. That's not. We saw what happened. That didn't win. Minus Embiid plus TJ Warren and Kyrie. That's not bad, but
it's
not
bad.
Winning it either. It's not bad. It's not what they want.
Whatchamacallit is the guy from Utah with them also?
Royce O'Neal too. Yeah.
Neal?
Yeah.
Yeah. They look, man.
They made some good pickups this offseason.
You got a lot of guys.
Yeah, if they the Nets could they make the right move, they could still be in there.
Yeah.
I think that'd be, if you did that trade, it'd be a very interesting team. I think they have a lot of talent, kind of a mishmash of players, but if they had Kyrie, Maxey, Royce O'Neal, Joe Harris, TJ Warren, Curry, that's a lot of guys. That's a lot of guys that throw out somebody. So yeah,
will be interesting.
Tobias, it's a really deep team. It's a deep team of a bunch of like 2s and 3s. Except for Kyrie, but can you count on him at this point?
We just seen the team very similar be the number 1 seed in the East last year.
It's true.
Yeah. Yep, it's true.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And also where Kyrie even goes to if he does get traded too. So if they want to get rid of Durant, and they can also probably get rid of Kyrie as well, try to get rid of kind of that, not the headaches, but guys who are causing problems within the organization. So